Okay, so here we are. We are very excited to be joined by Cedric Nicolle with Colectivo Mutante out of Chile. Today we have Cedric, we have Victor, our flight club manager from Flight, we have Eastman from Skurnik Wines, and myself, Lindsay from Flight. And we're going to have a conversation all around Cedric's Pedro Jimenez. I'm going to start off with an easy question, Cedric. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into winemaking?
Hi everybody. Nice to share with you today. I'm French winemaker. I began to study winemaking at 15 years on my 15 years, so 13 years ago, 30 years ago. In 2001, I go to make wine in Chile. I began to make wine in Chile. And after 10, 12 years, actually, I meet us a lot. I meet a lot of friends here. And with four of them, we just well tasting some wine, drinking some wine, telling some good story about wine. We decide to make some interesting wine or funny wine for us. So that the beginning of the project Colectivo Mutante. We are five friends. We are sharing a lot of wine, different wine from everywhere. So that's the beginning of the project, and the project was making a nice, interesting, and different wine in Chile.
In Chile. And how did you come up with the name for the project, Colectivo Mutante?
Because it's collective. We were five guys, so it's quite collective.
Mhm.
Everyone very different than the other. One guy is working like um, X therapist, doctor, medicine,
Yes.
Mhm.
wine dealer, viticultor, and a guy working with a net, an international net, working with the system. So we
I
are quite different everyone, but the main things we love the wine and Mutante because we are thinking about the name and all of them we played a lot of Tetris and Pac-Man in the 80s and what that's the beginning of the story of Mutante and the logo, you know that's the
Oh
very
my
beginning
gosh.
Oh, I see.
of the logo. Yeah, Space Invaders
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, I
So
see.
well, like five geeks speaking about wines. So we try to find something funny and try something corporate for us, and we speak about a lot of about that. One sister of one of the partner, she have a very good communication study. So she helped us to determine this name. So it was good. We are very happy with this name, with this logo, with the story because this story it's a bit of everyone of the collective.
That's great. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And then are you doing all of the winemaking or does everybody help with the winemaking?
no. I'm the only winemaker. We don't have
The only
we don't need much more. So we're still very small, it's a very small production, and fortunately, I can do everything here for the winemaking. The Hector, one of the partner, is the viticulture, so he helped us to find the right place, the right fruit, and to coordinate for the so all of the logistic to the vintage, for the picking, for everything. And that's the other part of the enologic system, I can say. And the other people help with each one have a specific task.
Well, that's
But
nice.
for the winemaking, I'm the only one.
And were you also winemaking in France when you were there?
Yeah, actually I'm not making wine in France since for maybe 10 years. No,
Okay.
12 years. Yeah, because I've got my daughter have 11, so I stopped to make wine over there since
Gotcha.
2013. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Do
make
you think that your French winemaking knowledge has influenced what you're doing in Chile?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure. Sure. I'm come from Loire Valley.
Oh, oh, yes.
Yeah. So always I born in a fruity, juicy wine, light and so definitely make a difference for how I make my wine.
Yeah. I
And
love the Loire Valley and the wines from there.
And
Lovely.
so in kind of keeping with that, Pedro Jimenez, very not, I would say maybe for us, not a grape that we would certainly associate with the Loire Valley, but also not necessarily a grape we would associate with Chile. Where did the decision to use PX
no,
for this wine come
well,
from?
that's an interesting point because we don't have Pedro Jimenez in Loire Valley. That's that's sure. And one point, one of our point to make wine, it's to make another wine, so a wine different than the other Chilean wine. So we think a lot about and I was working in the north of Chile a lot of time making wine in north of Chile. Hector, it's from the north too, and we know we have a Pedro Jimenez, a great varieties, but in Chile 10 years ago, or yes, 10 years ago, there are no label about Pedro Jimenez in Chile. It's only in Chile we use Pedro Jimenez to make pisco.
Mm.
99% of Pedro Jimenez go to the pisco company for distillation, so it's quite different. And for me, when I taste lots of Pedro Jimenez before make this one, and make for me it makes sense to it's very versatile varieties, very versatile. It can be very fresh. It is very fresh, a bit like Chenin Blanc maybe, and the only things maybe close to Loire Valley, it's lemon stone soil, which is Limari. It's one of the only place in Chile where we can find a limestone soil. So it's maybe the very close things to Loire Valley, but that's it. And after the main thing is making fresh wine. That's the other thing from Loire Valley, very fresh wine. That's the target with Pedro Jimenez.
Nice. Kind of going off of that, I'm just kind of curious to see how many like vintages or how long you've been working with making a wine out of 100% Pedro Jimenez.
Since 2015, the
Oh,
first year was 2015. Yeah,
10
so
years.
10 years. Yeah, 10 years.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah. And
Thanks.
how would you compare? I think the vintage that we have is 2022 that our Flight Club members are getting. How would you?
2022. Mhm.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
well, it's something interesting with the Limari. It's very stable climate. It's always dry.
Nice.
It's always dry, and the night it's always quite cold because we are very close to the Pacific. And the
Okay.
Pacific in Chile, it's very cold too. So it's 15 degrees each. So always it's quite the same characteristic on the vintage. I can 2022 maybe I think I pick up the fruit middle of April, 10 April, 10th of April, something like that. This year was a bit different. I pick it up 10 of May. So it was
A little bit later harvest.
was later. But 22 was a good year, was a normal year, bit dry. So we maybe we have to drier than the other year. Maybe I have to pick up early, maybe 1 week or 10 days earlier than the normal. But it's quite normal in fact. It's not a very different style of for the wine.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know what? Pedro Jimenez is that strong, and he don't care about the year at the end.
It's very hardy. Okay.
Yeah, yes, Pedro Jimenez. It's very. He have a very strong personality. So it's very stable for the against the weather or something like that.
Environment. Nice.
Pinot Noir is not the same, you know.
Oh yeah, no.
Or Sauvignon Blanc is not the same, but
yeah,
Pedro Jimenez is much more stable.
Okay.
At my point of view.
In your experience, yeah, that's nice.
And with Pedro Jimenez, you've described the wine you want to make a fresh wine.
Yeah.
I have mostly, at least for a long time, mostly tasted, the sherry versions of PX.
Yeah.
How would you describe is there any specific thing you're looking for in the wine or a particular note that comes through with Pedro Jimenez that you like or are looking for?
Yeah, two different things. The first year I made Pedro Jimenez, I just want to make it like technologic Sauvignon Blanc, you know, but with no terpene, no that like a muscat or not something heavy. More than a very fresh, low alcohol Sauvignon Blanc. That was my direction, my way when I began to make it. On the same year, with the same fruit, I make two kind of wine with Pedro Jimenez. With the same fruit, I make Pequis one, the first Pequis one, Pequis uno, and the other it's Poder Natural. Poder Natural with the same fruit, it's totally different. It's much more like sherry wines. It's wine goes through barrel with no sulfate for 4 years, with no treatment, with nothing, with nothing. The name is Poder Natural, natural power. so it's much more like sherry wine. It's very close to sherry wine, in fact, because it got a flower on the top of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
So and that is exactly the same grapes, the same day of picking. It's only just two different way to make wine. So that's make me very happy to make these two kind of wine with one grape. So maybe for that I was thinking about Chenin, because the Chenin, you can make a sparkling, a dry wine, a sweet wine, all of that with the Chenin. And Pedro Jimenez make me feel like the same varieties, because you can do everything with that. Well, I can't do actually I can't do red wine, but I did a pinky wine, which is very nice too, but very small part. So.
And when you said you tried to you used the same techniques as Sauvignon Blanc the first year you made it. Have you had to kind of change anything off of that trial, try different things as you go, or did that work and give you the wine that you wanted first?
Well, I've got lots of experience about making wine with Sauvignon in New Zealand, in Loire, in Chile, a bit everywhere, And I was sure about my way. I say, okay, we will do that. like a Sauvignon, easy one, easy to control, easy to do. So under my knowledge, will be okay with that. So I just try with I don't know about making typical Pedro Jimenez wines. No, it just doesn't exist. So just try, and for the same thing, I do that. I did that like a Sauvignon, and I try another thing like a flower, like a Jura. I was thinking more about Jura than cherry, but for the varieties, it's like a more cherry, man. But at the end, it's a Jura style, with no sulfate, with 4 years without any any control of the wine, and it's just perfect. It's very interesting wine.
Huh.
So just for the first year in 2015, I was experimenting Pedro Jimenez, and that's it. And actually, I don't change anything. Than the first year, I don't change anything about the winemaking for Peikis one.
Wonderful.
Yeah, still the same recipe. Well,
So you mentioned that not many people are working with Pedro Jimenez for still white wine. It's mostly used for the pisco production.
yeah,
Do you think that more people are starting to get interested in dry Pedro Jimenez because of your project and other projects like yours in Chile?
yeah, sure, because it's easier to speak about with a journalist or for the people to speak about the new wines. And here in Chile, we have a kind of a reputation, of Pedro Jimenez, and some people begging to do some wine with Pedro Jimenez, which is very great for us. It's very, very good news because it's better to get a fly with 5 or 6, 7 different Pedro Jimenez to learn more about the variety. And it's very different. The Pedro Jimenez makes a huge difference between the region where you are picking it. So that's interesting. I've got friend, a very, very, very close friend to making Pedro Jimenez written in the south of Chile, which is very different. A bit it's less for my taste, a bit less salty, less citric. It's more powerful. It's good too, and normally they mix it with some another varieties to because the Pedro Jimenez, in fact, is very neutral varieties. It's not very aromatic varieties. It's very neutral. So if you don't find or if you don't find the way to just push it a bit, it's quite boring. So you have to find the way to do it more exciting. So
yeah,
like the rightness, all the process in the vinification.
yeah.
And
And
actually,
you're sorry, go ahead. I was going to ask you, your friend who's making Pedro Jimenez further south is making a bolder style of that. What's making it a little bit bigger and fuller than yours?
the region, the weather, the soil too. The ocean is not as close to the vineyard. I've got another very good friend. We is making absolutely in the same place in the north. Very, very good winemaker, and he make it. But always he is looking for something more powerful, bit more sweetness, bit different, just different. That's great. Because I repeat, but Pedro Jimenez it's very, very versatile variety. You can do what you want. If you know what you want to do, you can do it.
How about for sparkling wine?
Well, I'm thinking about the sparkling wine. Surely it will be a very good variety to make sparkling wines. That I'm sure about that. Maybe I'm a bit a lazy man. I don't know, but I don't. I don't. We don't make it yet. Surely we will try some. You know, after it's different for the logistic for the boat to buy bottle to buy the material to make a sparkling wine. You need a bit more, bit more materials, items.
Of
So
course.
for that, I think it's and I can't pick the Pedro Jimenez the same day to make sparkling than to make a Pekis one. So it's different point. We don't make it yet. Surely one day we will do.
Well, I hope so. So we can try it.
Yeah, looking
Yeah,
forward
no,
to
no,
it.
sure, will be good for sparkling. I'm sure it's a perfect variety to make a sparkling. Here on Limari Valley, we are making they're making another winery are making very good sparkling wine with Chardonnay, with Pinot,
Yeah,
and I'm sure Pedro Jimenez is the way. It's much more cheaper to make Pedro Jimenez sparkling than Pinot Noir sparkling in
sure.
the north for the dry weather. So soon, I don't know when, but soon.
Soon, someday. Yeah. Um, is there anything, any, message you want to share with our members about why this wine is so special to you and to your partners and what makes it such a interesting addition to their wine club this July?
Yeah, well, sure. Well, this wine, it's for me one of the best point. It's wine making for friends to drink it. Maybe it's not. I'm not. We are not looking for 100 points in any magazine. I don't know. We are just so happy when the bottle just finish it very quickly, and we have to open another very quickly. So that's one point important, very important for us. It's friendly wine. That's one point. And after for the region, for Limari region, which is very interesting because we are in the desert. It's it's a desert in Chile, very dry, but you've got some just some very little place with water for the river and close to the Ocean Pacific, which is very cold and with a limestone. So it's very special place to make wine for us. That and for you, like with tasting this wine, you have to know it's very strange and special place to make wine. So hopefully one day you can go visit us and see what is it, but it's very interesting place.
And I wanted to ask about the Limari Valley. Do you you say that it's a very special place, and I know that do other winemakers in the Limari Valley, do you find that they're making similar wines to you, or are your wines vastly different than the other wines in the Limari Valley? For someone who maybe hasn't had a ton of wine from the Limari Valley, how is yours different than others, or the same as others?
Well, in Limari Valley, normally they are quite big productor, like a Concha Toro, you know, that's the biggest. So well, I don't know how to. It's not a lot of. It's far to Santiago. So in Limari, we don't have a lot of a very small project like us. I was working in Limari Valley for another project, for another winery, like a consultant. So for me, it's easier to be in Limari, to know Limari, but it's not that easy for lots of people. So I maybe if you know one very good winemaker, very friend of Colectivo, it's José Pablo Martin,
Hmm.
which he have actually this year have Pedro Jimenez wine, and he's making another wine like a Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Grenache. And so for me, that's one of the best winemaker over there, which is making some very small product with a focus of quality and we've got Tabali wine, like Tabali have very good Pinot and Sauvignon too. Tatier, well, they have some good project over there, but it's not very it's not full of winemaker and project wine. So and actually the last 10 years, lots of vineyard go down for the driest season. You know, they don't have more water for the vineyard, so it's not easy to go over there and to begin a new project. In fact,
Got it. I also have one last question about the wine. What you say it's best amongst friends, which I love, and to finish one bottle and open another. Is there anything that you like to eat with this wine in particular? Is there any kind of pairing that you would maybe recommend? Any sort of snacks you like to enjoy just on its own?
Look, something very special with Peikis one. It's sushi or atun, sushi or atun with wasabi.
Oh,
yeah, because it's very spicy and it's so great to blend everything.
Wow.
I know. I didn't expect you to say that.
Wow, that is so interesting. I love that.
Have to try it.
Tartare, I've got another one. It's tartare de atún, okay, with palta et mostassa, French moutarde. You make a tartare with atún, ginger,
with ginger?
Ginger beer.
Oh.
Ginger. So with ginger, atún with ginger, palta, it's so great for the spicy.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So kind of like a sushi, like spicy wasabi kind of thing is what
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I love that. That's very fun.
Because you know, if you taste it, you can feel it a bit spicy at the end. So that's great. It's you know, and Pedro Jimenez have a lot of phenol in the mouth, which is very hard to drink Sauvignon Blanc after a Peikis, because you've got the mouth full of kind of phenol, and after the Sauvignon Blanc, it's just like water. You don't feel it when you're drinking Peikis one. You just feel lightness, salty, and very, very easy to drink. But after a Sauvignon Blanc, like water, tastes like water.
Interesting.
I will try.
So a Sauvignon Blanc pairing, tuna sushi with wasabi, and tuna tartare with like a spicy mustard.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Okay, guys.
Wow, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest pairings I've heard.
If you want something fresh, you can mix it. If you want to mix it, you know, for the aperitif, some people make that in Chile just to push the alcohol, the wine consumer. Mix sandia, watermelon with Peikis.
Oh, watermelon. Yeah.
With Peikis to make a cocktail.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
That's nice too.
Creative.
These are all great ideas.
Yeah, I love this. That's very fun. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's not my idea to blend watermelon with my wine, but it's very fun to try.
But it's happened.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time, Cedric, and for talking us through your wine and about the region. What a wonderful opportunity to hear from you. And we're very excited to share your wines with our members in July. And thank you to Victor and Eastman for joining us as well. And we will sign off. Cheers.